Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see the second-year man Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills as they match up with Ryan Fitzpatrick and the Miami Dolphins. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thanks. Located appropriately for his career win total at 347 Don Shula Drive. There's a look at Hard Rock Stadium here in Miami, Florida. This crowd a few minutes ago stirred into action at the side of their Dolphins emerging from the Hard Rock Stadium tunnels, and we're ready to go as the Dolphins get set to match up with the Buffalo Bills. Hi, everyone. Brandon Godden, Charles Davis. Charles, you look at the Dolphins as they enter play in this one. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Bills, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
Now Allen. And this one caught by Beasley. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. To the air, Allen. They'll roll him out right. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. Josh Allen, very athletic at 6'5", showing the versatility, picking up the first on the scramble. On first down, Allen. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. David Bass in there to bury him for a loss of 11. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Complete. Smith has it. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
On play action, Allen hit. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Can this defense get the stop on the opening drive? Here's 3rd and goal.
Hey, team 6.
From the gun, it's Allen. And it's caught. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the first. They are able to get 9 yards out of that, but now it's 4th down. And a good sign for them right now to have their young quarterback looking confident on the opening drive.
Now
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. And on the opening drive of the ball game, the defense comes up with a goal line stand.
I know coaches always tell us that they make decisions about these types of plays, this type of a fake, earlier in the week to take the emotion out of the deal. I don't know that that was really true here. This one felt like all of a sudden, hey, I have a feeling that let's go ahead and get it, and it just didn't work.
Yeah, I know one thing. They wish they had it back.
Yeah, they certainly do, but the buck stops with the head coach on that one. He has to green light that attempt.
The numbers for him from a week ago: 6 catches, 82 yards. This is Kenyon Drake, the fourth-year man from Alabama. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Now on 2nd and 13. Fitzpatrick. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
12 yards on the play. He's to third down and 1.
On 3rd and short, Drake. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Around the NFL, a game going on in Washington. The Jets out to the early lead. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now Gore. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
All right, Brad, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
From the Allen. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 12 yards that time, and a Bills first down. Here's Allen on 1st and 10. He's going to go deep for Beasley. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Coverage that time by Bobby McCain. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Here's Gore now running out of the gun. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Throwing Fitzpatrick, and it's caught by Parker. A Miami first down on the 14-yard pickup. On first down, Drake. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Right, 80! 49, guys. Mike, 49. We own it.
On 2nd and 9, Fitzpatrick. And quick throw here, that's complete. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And what a return as he brings this one all the way back to the 25-yard line.
We're going to shut you down.
Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
And this is one of those bang-bang plays, Charles. Did the knee hit first or did the ball come out first?
This is where you need that 20/20 eyesight, don't you, Brandon? You've got to see which one happened first. If the knee hit the ground, then they will keep possession.
Oh, that's me. That's me.
First down and 10.
Fitzpatrick now after the fumble recovery. And this is caught. It's Parker. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. 17 yards for the Dolphins there as they've got themselves a first down. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll run with Drake. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. On 2nd down now, it's Drake. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. Well, they've been practicing goal line offense all week. Let's see if they're able to capitalize here. They go play action here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Matt Milano gets him for a loss of 10 yards from his linebacker spot.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
So first down went in the wrong direction. They're at the 13-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Now the former 4th-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 3rd and 15 here after the 1st and 2nd down plays went in the wrong direction. Fitzpatrick. It's complete to Drake. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down. 3 yards in the wrong direction. Well, they try to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackle.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the 2nd quarter now, and we do have our first point. It's a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field. Trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
It feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
15 yards that time, and a Buffalo first. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Gore. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Allen. And his pass incomplete. Jerome Baker right there in coverage.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
And that's caught by Beasley. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 44-yard line. Beasley signed with the Bills in March just before his 30th birthday after 7 years with the Cowboys, hoping that he can be a very valuable slot receiver. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Robert Kimdichie, he's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain, 3-0 our score. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll send you up to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there, and he'll have stats and scores from a busy Sunday in the NFL. And that's going to be intercepted by the Pro Bowler Xavier Howard. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
And now let's talk about Kenyon Drake. He's hoping to get it going. They're hoping to get him going, too. You know, he's about ready to pop one here in the second quarter. He's hoping.
And his offensive line teammates, they want to get one of those, too, because they want to continue to run the football. Most offensive linemen like that part of the game better than pass protection because they're not taking blows. They're actually dealing them out. So what they want to do is show the coaches, hey, if we pop one, we're having success. That way they won't go away from the running game.
He'll be hoping to pop one, break one here this go-around. Now an open man. That's the tight end, Gesicki. It's complete. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Now Fitzpatrick, and he hits Drake. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. He goes underneath the Drake. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. They'll throw again. Fitzpatrick. He dumps it off to Drake. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. This quarterback now 11 for 11. Perfect in this opening half. It's 1st and 10. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball. And I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
A reminder that coming up later tonight, a good one on Sunday Night Football. We'll see what could have been a playoff matchup a season ago. The Bears and the Rams from L.A. And then tomorrow night, Monday Night Football from down in Mexico. Mexico City, to be precise. The Chiefs and the Chargers going at it. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Not wanting to take a chance this time. They'll keep it on the ground. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Bearing it deep for goal. And that's caught inside the 30. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. Right hash mark, a 42-yard attempt. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through. And the Bills are going to tie the game at 3. So a late turnover leads to a quick drive, and in turn that quick drive leads to 3 points.
So someone makes a mistake, but how about the other side learning from that mistake, taking care of the ball, and making sure they put some points on the board. Well done.
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away. So a very short kick here. This will be taken by one of the up men. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. The NFL season going to be about 2/3 complete after this weekend, so lots to get to as we check out what's going on here in Week 11. We'll start at Raymond James Stadium, an NFC South matchup between New Orleans and Tampa Bay. And it's the Saints who are out in front as that inches closer to halftime. Michael Thomas, a touchdown reception. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been as tight as we expected, all tied through one half of play. For the call of the second half, let's get it back to Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Second half ready to roll. 2 field goals, the combined output in half number 1. Could be first touchdown wins. This one fielded at the 5. Then he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. It's nearly a 40-yard gain on the opening play of the quarter.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Here's Fitzpatrick. That one caught by Ellison. A gain of 6 there on first.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. To throw again on second down. Fitzpatrick got his man complete over the middle. That's Drake. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A gain there of 21 yards. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. They'll try again with Drake. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Sanders' kick is good, and the Dolphins have taken the lead. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, then no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Back now comes the offense. Madden spotlight time as we shine it on Josh Allen. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. Jones has it. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. Throwing again on 2nd down. Allen. And he finds Beasley. Complete. Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Now on 3rd and 2, they're going to elect to throw with Allen. And the grab by Croft.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Just to pick up a 3, but that is indeed enough. Allen now 11 of 17 passing thus far. He's got his guys a 1st and 10. They run with Gore out of the shotgun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It was Minka Fitzpatrick up from his safety spot. He came in to knock him down. On play action, Allen. And that's complete to Brown. And he's got another 1st down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 33. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
Flushed out. Allen hit. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So it should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about any more.
And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Lorenzo Alexander wreaking the defensive havoc. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Running, it's Drake. And he'll take it across midfield and into Buffalo territory. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now. Here's Matt Hawk now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, and pushed it past the 50-yard line so they felt they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, Not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? 23 yards the pickup there. Tell you what, you need the tough yards. You can still turn to the 36-year-old Frank Gore, now in his 15th season in the league. 10 in San Francisco, the 3 in Indy, quick stop in Miami, and now in Buffalo, and still making it happen. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. On first down, it's Gore. Tackle made there by Eric Rowe.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They got to feel pretty good about that one.
And they see right through that defensively, as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And this one caught by Beasley. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. The quick slant, good for 8 and a first. From the 32 now, here's first and 10. They run, it's Gore. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Tackled that time by Jerome Baker out of Ohio State. And here's carry number 10 for Frank Gore. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming. Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, it's Allen. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
Well, you talk about clutch. That one was right down Broadway, and this game's all even here in the 4th.
Yeah, he didn't leave any doubt, did he? Good snap, good hold, dead center. Almost like a big-time golfer in a major, firing at a pin from the fairway, trying to win the tournament going down the stretch.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Call it no gain on the dump off, and it's 3rd down.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal. So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Six-yard return after a punt of 48. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll start on the ground with Gore. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Check 55. Let's go, defense.
Throwing on 2nd down. Allen. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Give the sack to Jerome Baker.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Dancing to his left. And able to find Garcon. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
25, check 25, check 25.
Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now it's Gore. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo first down.
Now you're right on the edge of field goal range. You've still got time, but get up to the line of scrimmage and get set.
50, 52. Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
Gore again here on first down. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
Now Allen. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with 1:07 remaining. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Let's get that ball, man. Let's get that ball right here.
Here's Gore. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
You got him.
The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. They'll stick to the ground game with Gore. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. The Bills on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Allen to throw. And that's complete to Croft. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Tyler Croft in the final minute. And they have taken the lead here in the final minute.
Well, any thoughts about overtime have ended at this juncture. That touchdown puts them up 6. I would imagine they'll kick the extra point now and rely on their defense.
Yeah, rely on their defense. So a little bit of time left on the clock here in the 4th, but they got to feel good now. Hauschka adds the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They're down here in a 1-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Yeah, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Now Fitzpatrick. And that will be incomplete. That would have been a tough catch, but in this 2-minute drill, those are the ones you really hope your guys come up with.
Yeah, you don't want your guy to be able to take the out because it was a tough catch. You needed him to come up with that one, because if he does, it alters the perspective of this 2-minute drill, doesn't it?
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. One last shot now for Fitzpatrick. Completes it to Hearns. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Well, going into the final play of this game. They knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair. Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. You were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot. So for the Bills, it's a win they needed, if for nothing else than their sanity, as they move to 4-6. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, it's a loss that'll drop them back to 500 through 10 games. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.